igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I woo. And she let it clap for it.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up.
She like man, we ride. Big ride, big.
Spark FM.
Spark FM online. Spark FM, we are here as you guys trickle into the studio, into the office. We will be able to see what you are doing and what you are saying. I'm not sure why my other computer over here is not working, but it makes me angry inside of my life. I'm angry on the inside.
Don't be. Everything's fine. Everything is fine.
Where am I going to sit today? I want to sit here. Obviously, people, it's going to be one of those shows. Rockstone Tues is not here today, so I'll be manning this side of things and making sure that all is well, that fares well in here in the atmosphere. Good morning, Miss Tony. How you doing?
Hey, girl. Hey, I'm all right. How you doing?
I'll be fine.
That's
we have
good.
another co-host here today again. We have Mr. Noah be knowing.
Noah be knowing.
Noah Landon the Great.
He's a little too advanced for me. I'm gonna tell y'all a story about what Noah did to
Tell
me
me
last
the
night.
story.
Hanging out with my good friend last night. This one emerges from the bedroom and he says, "Are you two dating?" And I said, "What?" And he says, "Are you dating?" And I said, "What do you mean by dating?" And he goes, when two people just meet each other and then they start to fall in love.
What the hell does Noah know about dating and falling in love and two people knowing each
That's
other?
what he said. And then he goes, because then they say the L word. And I said,
What's
what is
the L
word? And he said like this.
Is that LOVE?
Yes. But wrote it in the air. And it was just like, kid, can you relax yourself? What is your problem? We're sitting at the dining room table having a drink. And he's
So, like, how do you
dating?
answer that when a child asks you those things?
I don't know how you answer that. Did I answer? What did I say? He goes, because I will literally faint.
I will literally faint
if you guys are dating. And something. I don't know what else he said. So I was like, would that be bad if we're dating? He goes, well, it'd just be a little bit bad.
Because, no, why would it be bad? Get on the microphone. Bring the microphone close to your mouth. I can't hear you if you're not speaking into the microphone.
Because it would be bad because of what?
I can't hear you. You have to speak into the microphone.
If it was bad, then it'd be really bad?
But what would make it?
Why
How
would it
come
be
kids
bad?
don't ever want to answer the why?
I know. Why would it be bad? Oh, he did tell me. Because I met somebody else before I met this guy.
Oh.
And that's why it would be bad.
Okay. All right, Noah.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. Are you dating anyone? Yes, talking to the microphone. It's right next to your mouth.
Yeah. Are you dating anyone? Maybe.
Noah, you got a girlfriend? Yes? What's her name?
That's right.
It can't be your mama all the
Right.
time. No, it cannot. I knew it was going to go there, but I was hoping that it would not. That's what my hope was.
That's why it would be bad for me to date somebody else because I'm dating him right now.
And how dare you? No, CJ cannot date me. I'm a pimp for life. You feel me?
CK already said the other day he got his own girlfriend.
He got his own girlfriend.
I got my own girlfriend, and Noah just has a crush on his mom.
It be like that. Quick check-in. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good, though. I'm doing good. It's a good day. It's a good day.
It's a good life.
It's a good life.
It's a good life. All right, people, we are here. I've actually had a good day yesterday too. I went back to the gym finally.
Yeah.
Because my waist beads are literally trying to kill me. Like at this point, I'm almost convinced that my waist beads are literally trying to kill me.
My waist beads reside in my bra, so that's where they live, and that's where they will be.
And that's what will happen with those waist beads today. We do have a really great show lined up for you guys. Today is Super Tuesday, so we'll be talking to one of our local politicians that are out looking for your vote, looking for your support, and we want you guys to meet him. His name is Jose, and he will be in here today talking to us about the great things that he has planned for the city of Boston. Mr. Jose Ruiz will be in here a little bit later. We're going to get through our Around the Way news, and then we'll talk to him, and we'll be accompanied by our favorite Carlos Enriquez. So keep it locked right here. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We got lots and lots to talk about, so let's get right into it as soon as we can. We'll just get right into it. Today is Tuesday. What is today?
9/26.
9/26. What does that mean?
It's a few people that we know's birthday. It's Quentin's birthday. It's Lindell's birthday, and somebody else's birthday too. Happy birthday! Happy birthday to this.
September is a birthdayed out.
I know. I saw Shanae posted yesterday that yesterday was the only day that she didn't know somebody with a birthday in September.
The 25th.
Yep.
Oh,
And
I knew
know people.
several.
Yep.
Several of them.
Yep.
Every single day this month, I've known somebody who's had a birthday.
Yep. Somebody was born every day this month.
Every single day. Every day. Somebody that I know personally.
Yep.
So today is the 26th. It is Tuesday. We have few showers early with overcast skies later in the day. High around 60 degrees. Winds in the northeast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And there is about a 30% chance of rain for today. That means it's just going to be cold and moist for the whole entire day. Again, if you don't need to go out, stay inside. Have a cup of Joe.
Yes.
Have a cup of tea, a little coffee. Get your life right. Get your work done.
Get it together.
Do what you got to do.
Yes.
Yes, sir. With that said, we're going to get into our Around the Way news. Miss Tony is going to help me out with the Around the Way news today so I can try to get y'all stories up on the screen. Let's see. Let me do some experimentante.
There's quite a lot of local news stories that happened today or happened over at least the past couple days. 2 injured after a driver runs a red light and collides with... Sorry.
What did he collide with?
I don't know.
What did he collide with?
I don't know because the story won't open for me. It's just awful what's going on here.
And I don't know which mic to take. Go.
Take them all. Take them all.
Take all the mics.
He runs into a Green Line trolley in Brookline. That's what he ran into. 2 people suffered minor injuries after a vehicle collided with an MBTA Green Line trolley on Monday night. Transit police responded to the intersection of Beacon Street and St. Paul Street around 7 p.m. after reports of a vehicle in Cleveland Circle-bound MBTA Green Line C branch train crash in Brookline. The MBTA trolley had the right way and was heading outbound on Beacon Street when a vehicle traveling the same direction against the light suddenly turned left into the trolley. Police say 2 people suffered minor injuries. A photo posted to social media showed the vehicle on the right side of the trolley, which appeared to be heading through the intersection. A section of the Green Line has resumed after shuttle buses replaced service between St. Mary's Street and Coolidge Corner while crews repaired the overhead wire. The vehicle was towed from the scene and the driver will be cited for a red light violation.
Because this is what you didn't see the train coming?
They did. No, they didn't.
I often wonder when I hear stories like this, why is it that you decided that you wanted to beat the train?
Right. And the train had the right of way and you had the red light. So you ran the red light to try to beat the train, but turned right into it. Did you see the picture? The trolley was right next to them.
And they did it on purpose. So like those are the kind of things that bother me a little bit because it's like you're not only putting yourself in danger, but you're trying to get everybody else involved in danger or in trouble or hurt as well. And I just think that's just corny.
I think it's crazy how there's only 2 people that were injured. Because if I was on that train, I would have been injured too.
Who would have? Tell me who would have been injured? I would have been laid out outside the train with my foot turned up, and they'd have been like, it wasn't even a crash.
You took the whole thought out of my head. I was like, I was gonna be hanging out the front door, like, oh.
I'm in so much pain. It's the pain.
Help me. This is awful. So anyhow, that's what happened there. There's a whole bunch of accident type news that's happening today in the news. An ambulance involved in a rollover crash on I-93 in Boston. This story here looks like it was a mess because things like that be messy. Story won't load. I don't know what's going on.
Oh God! Things. This an ambulance was involved in a rollover crash along a service road for Interstate 93 in Boston on Monday night. According to state police, a Chevrolet ambulance and a 2019 Jeep Cherokee crashed on frontage road on the Hall Road just before 7 p.m.
Ooh.
The ambulance driver, a 24-year-old Lynn woman, and the driver of the Jeep, 43-year-old Barica man, suffered minor injuries in the crash. That looks crazy.
What is that? The ambulance on its side or the car?
I think it's the car. Let me bring it up
so
for
it
the
says
people.
Still shots from the scene showed the ambulance on its side at one point after the crash. There was no indication that anyone was in the back of the ambulance at the time of the crash. Imagine that. You're in the back of the ambulance and the ambulance got into a crash and flipped over. State police said the driver of the Jeep was issued a warning for motor vehicle violations. Both vehicles were towed away from the crash scene, which was cleared at 7:15 p.m., according to state police, and no additional information has been provided.
That thing is completely on its side.
Yeah, that's crazy. Remember when those girls crashed up their car over there in front of the Happy Supermarket that time, and it was just sitting on its side? And I was like, how they do that?
Oh, by your house.
By my house,
Yeah.
That was really, really weird when that happened.
Oh, you mean like from the supermarket?
Yeah, remember when we saw it? Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, right? I'm telling you.
I'm trying to show you guys the crash. Here it is. That is literally on its side.
Yeah.
Wowzer. Hey,
Little boy.
You might have to go into the other room, sir.
Exactly, because you're out of control.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
The news this morning, the local news is a lot.
Is it just all crashes?
No, it's a former Massachusetts transit worker pleads guilty to 13 charges, including larceny, bribery, and fraud.
Oh, he was doing a lot.
A former employee of the MBTA, of course, can't. Here we go. Sorry. I don't know what's going on today with the internet. It's the weather. It's the weather. A former employee of the MBTA pleaded guilty Monday to more than a dozen charges, including larceny and procurement fraud. State Attorney General Andrea Campbell said. Timothy Dockery, 57 of Plymouth, pleaded guilty to 13 charges that also included.
I don't know what's going on. It's happening over here too.
Wait. It's sorry. Anyways, Timothy, I think we spoke about him before, didn't we?
I don't remember him.
You don't remember him. Timothy Dockery, he did a whole bunch of bad things. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. Accepting illegal gratuities and conspiracy, Dockery was sentenced to 1 year in jail with 2 years of probation after finishing his sentence. He was also ordered to pay $37,860 in restitution. This is a former MBTA worker. I do remember talking about it a little bit, but what did he do? I don't know, because the thing won't let me look and see what he did, but he did the things and he was awful.
In one scheme, Dockery worked with a vendor to steal about $38,000 from the MBTA by submitting fake invoices, investigators said. Dockery also allegedly received each payment from the vendor in exchange for Dockery's help with MBTA procurement and projects. A lawyer for Dockery said he's pleased to have the 7-year-old case resolved. Tim is looking forward to moving on with this chapter of his life. Wait, did he get convicted or not?
He did.
So why is he moving on? Dockery, who worked as a buyer for the transit agency, was indicted in 2017 and suspended by the MBTA. The officer and of the inspector general began investigating Dockery following a hotline tip in 2014. So why the lawyer making it seem like, oh, now that he's in jail, we can get back to our lives? That's kind of crazy.
I know. They said, or is he out of jail? Did he get out?
Pleaded guilty Monday to more than a dozen charges, including larceny and procurement fraud. He's also what? He was sentenced to 1 year in jail with 2 years of probation after finishing his sentence.
And then he has to pay $37,000.
That's a lot of money to pay. I mean, shit. That's a lot of money. I'm saying. That's all I got to say because that's a lot of money.
You said that, girl. You said that. Here's another one. A malicious hoax, a suspicious white powder has been mailed to Norwell resident and triggered a hazmat response.
I just finished watching this episode in 911 Lone Star.
Tell me about it.
They was some stalker person decided that they wanted to stalk the captain and was sending white powder. It was like baking powder or something like that to try to scare people, and they all had to put on the hazmat suit. The lady thought she was gonna die immediately because she thought it was the anthrax. It was crazy.
White powder.
White powder.
White powder. Two hazmat crews responded to a Norwell home Friday afternoon after a resident was mailed a suspicious package. A resident on Judges Hill Drive reported to authorities that they were mailed a package containing a copious amount of suspicious white powder, according to the Norwell Fire Department. After several hours of investigating, hazmat crews determined that the package was a malicious hoax and that the substance was not hazardous. Well, that's cool. Good that it wasn't hazardous.
Yeah, I'm glad that it wasn't hazardous. That's important for things not to be. I don't know. I just feel like people who do things like this are absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Because what makes you say, I'm going to spray a little bit, I'm going to pour a little bit of powder in this envelope and send it to someone so I can scare them. Yeah, like why are we doing that?
That's funny.
Yeah.
How do you feel after? You feel good after? I don't know. A free weekend shuttle service is offered for the month of October in Salem. That's really nice. The city of Salem is once again offering free October weekend shuttles. Officials announced on Monday. Starting on September 30th, Salem residents and visitors alike can ride for free from 3 satellite parking lots every weekend until the end of October. The shuttles run from September 30th through October 1st on Indigenous Peoples Day. October and all of these other dates. If you are going to Salem, you can get your free shuttle from Salem State University's O'Keefe Center parking lot, the Salem High School, or 108 Jefferson Avenue behind Salem Hospital. That is really nice. The mayor says that the move has kept roadways less congested during Salem's busy Halloween season. I do want to visit Salem during Halloween season, just not on Halloween.
Yeah,
night.
on Halloween it seems like, I feel like I saw on this episode as well on 911. And Halloween is usually the most scary night because it's the most emergencies that happen that night because people be outside wilding. So that's why on Halloween, unless you getting naked and going to a party, you should not be outside.
I understand what you mean because sometimes when you be watching these shows, you do get really, really involved. Like, people keep telling me I look like Ugly Betty now.
Oh, yes.
I do.
She's got a bang. She's got the hair. She's got a good glasses.
red glasses.
Yeah, and she's fashion. Yeah, she's silly fashion. You're a lot better fashion.
But Betty got good. It's season 4 now. She looks good. I'm like, I get it, Betty. She still got them damn braces.
Yeah.
They gonna come off before the show is over?
I don't know. I don't remember if they do, but they need to come off because I feel like at some point
Betty.
you're too old.
Yeah, because Betty's a good 25 or 28 now. I've been watching her all my life. So that is crazy. A driver was cited for allegedly hitting 2 children with a car in Lynn. Why did he do that? Why is it alleged that he hit them?
Yeah. Did he not hit him or did he hit him?
Did he did or did he didn't? The children ages 7 and 10 were taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, police said. The driver was cited after allegedly hitting 2 children with a car in Lynn on Monday morning. City police said they were called to 98 Holyoke Street for a report of a car crash. The preliminary investigation revealed that the driver allegedly struck a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old boy in 2 parked cars with their car.
What is the alleged?
I don't know what the alleged is. The children were taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver stayed at the scene and police cited them for charges related to unsafe operation and speeding. The children were walking to school with a parent when the crash happened. There's a video.
I'm seeing it.
But what are the allegations about?
Yeah, like what is the alleged?
What is the
what alleged?
Yeah,
what allegedly happened?
Did he hit him or not?
Not that it's funny if he did, but like I don't understand. Sometimes I really don't understand what alleged means.
Me either.
Meaning that, like I understand that it might not have been,
intentful. Right.
But that's different than alleging is saying he might not or might have had done it.
Right.
On Holyoke Street,
which is
so,
a
10-year-old girl.
So with
Lynn,
do y'all see him do it? Because then if he did it, then it's not a legend. He did it.
Is that just something you? Is that something you just have to say in general? Like you just have to say allegedly until the investigation is over? Because then I think they should change a different word, like investigatively.
Janet said, stop name dropping Lone Star 911. Can't everything be that relevant?
It is, Janet. If you watch it, you'll see all of the things of your life start to portray in these programmable episodes.
Life imitates art.
It does. So a lot of things that we're reading about is already happened. This ain't new.
It ain't new.
If you Handmaid's Tale, things like that.
Well,
if
I
you
don't
watch
want that to come
Handmaid's Tale, then you'll be prepared for when the what is it? The decography.
Dystopian.
The dystopian. Yeah, the dystopian rule comes to us. You gotta be prepared.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Say that, sis.
You know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
Get your life in order. Mm-hmm. Shoot. What else is going on? This news is news, and Boston brothers busted as alleged arsenal, ammunition, and drugs seized in a Dorchester dawn raid. What is that sentence called? Alliteration?
Yes.
Jeez Louise. The Boston Police Department reported the arrest of two men, Christopher Summers, 51, and Gary Summers, 54, on firearm-related charges. The arrest took place in Dorchester neighborhood in the early hours of September 24th, around 12:40 a.m. Y'all gonna go? Where is this? I saw this happen. Police responded to an alert of a suspect with a firearm at 5 Perth Street. Upon the officer's arrival, they spotted a man corresponding to the description in a car with another person. The two men were asked to exit the vehicle and were subsequently handcuffed. Look at their little guns. 4 firearms were recovered and 2 suspects arrested. The police, while carrying on an investigation, found 4 firearms inside the car. These included a Springfield Armory XD with 13 rounds in its magazine, a Smith & Wesson 1911 or 1911 with weight rounds in its magazine, a Ruger's EC9S with several rounds in the magazine, and a Kel-Tec Pat 3 AT with 6 rounds in the magazine. That is very descriptive. The officers also recovered a plastic bag containing 7 loose rounds of 9mm ammunition, illegal drugs in a multiple plastic bags, and $2,100 in cash. Can I ask you a question? They didn't have a little bullet case. They had to put it in a sandwich bag.
Sandwich, yeah. I mean, that's probably what they do. Their evidence bags is sandwich bags.
No. Oh, so I thought the boys had it in the sandwich bag. The boys.
Oh, the children.
41 and 45. But that's what they said they found. The bullets in the sandwich bag. They don't got a little bullet case. I don't know. Unlawful possession of firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, unlawful possession of large capacity device for feeding, intent to distribute Class B, to distribute Class C, intent to distribute Class E, and receiving stolen property are the charges the suspects will be facing. Now, this is very, very interesting. This news article came from a website called Hoodline.com.
Hoodline, is that real?
Yes. Yes, it's real. Hoodline.com.
Hoodline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I like it.
That's very interesting. It's got, you can pick the different cities. Mm-hmm. San Francisco, San Jose, Oakland, North Bay, San Diego, Boston, Chicago, and Los Angeles. I don't know why Boston would be included with all of these California cities, but yeah, and it has lots of really good news on it. You guys check it out. Hoodline.com. Wow.
Hoodline.
Yeah.
I talked to somebody called Hood Life yesterday.
We know Hood Life.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
No, that's Hood Fit.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, there's all kinds of hood things.
It's hood things.
But yes, this hoodline.com, it looks like a really good news resource. I think we might use that a little bit more. And then this very, very interesting story. Several tires slashed in Roxbury after a liquor store customer lashes out. So you lashed out, then you went outside and slashed tires.
I feel like somebody was trying to tell me about this story yesterday. Well, did it happen by the Fernandez brothers?
Yes.
Oh,
On
yes.
the street by here?
Oh, by my house. I think it was Mommy.
Yeah, several tires were slashed on and around Dudley Street in Roxbury Monday afternoon after witnesses said an angry customer at a local liquor store lashed out. At least a dozen tires were slashed. Later speaking to the news, witnesses said the incident started outside the Fernandez Brothers liquor store on Dudley Street. Some witnesses said a man in a wheelchair got angry with the liquor store and after scratching at the store's window.
A man had a wheelchair?
A man in a wheelchair. After scratching at the store's windows, slashed the tires of cars parked in front of the stores.
I mean, okay, let's talk about it. So, two things can be right. I don't know where I'm going with this.
What are the two things that can be right here?
The two things that can be right. Let me see if I can play the video for you guys.
They said he went on to slash more tires around the corner on Albion Street.
What do you think it was his actual issue? What do you think was his problem at that moment? Let's get into the mind of a criminal.
Yeah.
Here is
on
the
a
clip.
Boston Street.
Can y'all hear it out
Witnesses
there?
say
I hear
an
it in
angry
here.
customer at a liquor store is to blame for lashing out. 19's Lisa Gresci is live in Roxbury and joins us with more details. Lisa.
Kim, and you can see it all started right here at this liquor store with these scratches. Witnesses say a man in a wheelchair got upset with the liquor store and started doing this, and he didn't stop here. At least a dozen tires slashed along Dudley Street in Roxbury.
Wow.
According to witnesses, the incident started outside of Fernandez Brothers Liquors. Some of them telling us a man in a wheelchair got angry with the liquor store, and after scratching at the window, he slashed the tires of cars parked out front, slashing more on the surrounding streets. Those who got their tires cut having no other choice but to change them in the rain or get their car towed. Now, Boston police say they took someone into custody not too far from here, and right now the slashing remains under investigation. Reporting live in Roxbury tonight, Lisa Gresci, 7 News. Night.
What do you think is the damn problem? What? For two things. One question that I have. Ain't nobody see him out there slashing the tires?
Exactly. He is in a wheelchair. Y'all didn't see him slashing all these over a dozen tires?
Y'all thought he was just wheeling close to the cars and making these motions
with a knife in his hand?
With his knife in his hand. Because it's not like he hit it every time. He was out there wielding a knife.
And Pastor Troy just said, I'm definitely kicking him in the face and taking his wheelchair. And I wasn't thinking of that, but I was thinking of side kicking over his wheelchair so it'd be on the side like the ambulance in the first story. Because what the hell?
Why are you doing that?
What's your problem? And even if it wasn't my car, if I saw him doing it, I'd be like, I would have pushed him over. Like, what is wrong with you?
I think for me, it's the slashes in the window. Like, I am so angry. I'm going to slash this window. I'm going to slash these tires. And this one, I'm going to slash everything.
Dude, he said somebody should have put a stick in his wheel. What is that? What is
because that's pure wickedness.
Yeah, you're just being a nuisance or what is you being? What is wrong with you?
I think it's hilarious. I think that's probably one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. Because y'all
Schneider
really
said somebody should have slashed his tires.
But you know, that has to be like, and I hate to throw this at everything, but that has to be some real, I don't know, that's either anger management or like mental health. Anger management is when you absolutely just have no control over your actions. So you being pissed off in the liquor store is going to make you so angry that you go outside in the rain and wheel your chair down the street and slash everybody's tire in your way.
And then go around the corner and slash them.
And then go around the corner and keep on slashing. Because why ain't nobody take the knife from him at any point? It wouldn't have been hard. And it's sad that that the chuckle comes from the fact that he's in the wheelchair, but that makes it even more ridiculous. You know, it just makes it so much ridiculous because they could have caught him.
When he was scratching the window.
Yes.
That was enough.
Yes.
He didn't need to spin around.
It's like a bad child. Like, why are you doing that? And why you let him have tantrum?
If you don't roll out. Anyway, that's the national news.
My man said, I'm gonna show you guys how it's done.
Jeez, and then now these poor people have to change the tires in the rain or get their car towed.
I would have been.
How much tires cost?
Do you know how much I would have found him, and he would have given me everything that he had?
He ain't
Everything.
got nothing but his wheelchair.
We would have had to sold that.
I would have been rolling home in his wheelchair.
Shit, because clearly I can't get home by myself. I need another set of wheels.
Child, man, I'm telling you, that's the national news. That's it.
The around the way news. We'll be right back in a few moments. Talk to you guys in a second. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We'll be right back.
The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM.
Miami Breward Junior Carnival 2023 Family Fun Day, presented by TD Bank on September 30th. Gates open at 1 p.m. at the Central Breward Park, 3700 Northwest 11th Place, Lauderhill, Florida. Bring your blankets, chairs, and umbrellas. Come, relax and see 12 participating junior bands, junior steel band competition, junior soca, calypso, mona, and live performances. Advance tickets available now at all Caribbean outlets and MiamiCarnival.org. Sponsored by Visit Lauderdale, Gabriel Renard, Smart Water, Spotify, iHeartMedia, and Synergy TV.
Did you know that you can now get a standard Massachusetts driver's license regardless of your immigration status? To get help with your application, a list of all required documents, and nearby appointment scheduling, visit mass.gov/WFMA. Your license is your way forward, so why not get started today? Register now at mass.gov/WFMA or call 857-368-WFMA.
Boston, get ready to celebrate in style. It's a year of celebration, and V-Star Production proudly presents the 10th anniversary of Boston Caribbean Fashion.
Tell them I'm gone, I said tell them I'm gone, don't even bother calling me.
From October 18th to the 21st, immerse yourself in the world of beauty, culture, fashion, and style. Join us for the fabulous fashion events, including a Vogue Design Show and the BCFW Honors Award Ceremony and the unforgettable Teen Fashion Night. Don't miss the grand finale as BCFW closes out the week with a sensational fashion show at Roxbury Community College Auditorium, featuring New England's top designers and a special musical performance by incredible Sophia Leslie. Boston Caribbean Fashion Week is the event of the year, October 18th to the 21st. Get your tickets today at bostoncfw.com and be a part of the amazing celebration of style. Boston Caribbean Fashion Week, where fashion meets culture. Be there.
Canna fans, high-profile Bodega Cannabis Shop is now serving Boston in 3 locations. Be sure to stop by Dorchester, Rosendale, and Roxbury for the best prices on OZs and J's. Not to mention edibles, carts, concentrates, and more. Download the high-profile app on the App Store or Google Play to keep up to date on Boston's best bundles. Experience the best prices and see how we roll at High Profile Bodega. Visit highprofilecannabis.com for additional details.
Attention, gentlemen. Are you looking for a suit that will make you look sharp and feel confident? Look no further than Allen's Formal Wear, a Boston legacy business. Our expert staff will help you find the perfect suit for any occasion. With a wide selection of colors, styles, and sizes, we have something for everyone. And the best part, our affordable prices won't break the bank. So why settle for a mediocre suit when you can stand out in Allen's Formal Wear? Visit us today at 594 Blue Hill Ave, Dorchester, or allensformalwear.com to book an appointment. Visit us today at 594 Blue Hill Ave, Dorchester, or Allens, ALLANS, formalwear.com to book an appointment. Allen's Formal Wear. We are dressing you for success.
Want to give your baby a head start? Get the best protection against flu and COVID-19. Because their immune system isn't fully developed at birth, babies need additional protection. When you get vaccinated while pregnant, it can keep you and your baby from getting sick. As they get older, this can result in more time in school and daycare for them, and more productive time at work for you. Vaccines are safe and effective for children as they grow. No matter where you are on your pregnancy journey, flu and COVID vaccines can boost your and your baby's natural defenses and protect your family. Stay up to date with your vaccines. Stay healthy. Talk with your trusted healthcare provider today. Brought to you by the Boston Public Health.
Spark FM.
Medication. Your medication makes me high.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I woo. And she let it clap for it.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com.
Turn us up.
She like man, we ride. Big ride, big ride, big.
Spark FM.
Often I hear people talking about how high their electricity bills are. Massachusetts has programs that everyday homeowners pay for, but never look into. Have you ever considered why some homes have panels and others don't? If you have Eversource, National Grid, or Unitil for electricity, you are paying for your neighbors to get panels at no cost. The charges are on the bill. Why not get someone to pay for yours? This program also helps with re-roofing, tree cutting, and electrical upgrades. If you're tired of short-term solutions for a long-term problem, connect with Bakari to find out if your home meets the requirements to upgrade at no cost out of pocket. Save the planet, future-proof your family for power outages, and save tens of thousands of dollars on an otherwise lifelong bill. Mention Spark when you call or text SPARK to 617-833-8940 to get 2 months off your power bill covered if your home gets selected.
Spark FM.
Medication. Your medication makes me high.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I woo. And she let it clap for it.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com.
Turn us up.
She like man, we ride. Big ride, big ride, big.
Spark FM.
Spark FM Online. We are back. Spark FM, Saucy and Friends in the morning. And per usual, it's time for Saucy and Friends Super Tuesday. And we have with us our good up friend, Mr. Carlos Henriquez. Good morning, Carlos.
Good morning to you. How's everybody doing today?
We find now that you here, brother.
Hi, Carlos.
I see you working all the buttons and filling in for Rock Stone, keeping you busy this morning.
Man, I tell you, I thought I was going to have an easy Tuesday, and I'm in here working.
It's Super Tuesday.
It is Super Tuesday.
And now I'm jealous because I just saw that large cup of coffee and I haven't had mine yet. Now, so that looked like it was a 32-ounce.
This is
cup of Joe. No, not that one. That one. The one Mr. Ruiz was in. Big red. That's a candidate prepared for long days right there. He's been out. This is that final stretch. He's making it.
He's been doing the most. And you know, it be like that. Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes you got to get your day prepared really well. You got to set yourself up in the morning to have some really greatness. But we want to it is Super Tuesday. So we wanted to introduce another one of our candidates for Boston City Council to Spark FM. And today we are joined by Mr. Jose Ruiz. Welcome to Spark FM, Mr. Jose. How are you?
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Everything is good. Audience, make sure you give him a warm welcome. Now is your time to ask any questions you may have. Mr. Jose, tell us what you are running for and tell us why you're running for it.
First and foremost, I want to thank Carlos, but I want to let him know, too, that your mom and dad, heroes in the city of Boston, heroes in the state of Massachusetts for so long, man. So I want to thank them forever. Just remind your father he can outrun me, but I was a lot faster than him. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I waited for him to get old before I raced him. That's all. That's the other part. But,
wise man.
Yeah, there you go. But my name's Jose Ruiz. I consider myself a son of Boston. I came here when I was less than 2 years old. And like the Enriquez, I grew up under a phenomenal mother. My mother is Doña Paula Oyola, who's one of the founders of Villa Victoria. So affordable housing for all has always been something in my blood. and in my upbringing.
Yeah.
My mom, we grew up with my mom's 3 heroes pictures in our living room. And the first one was John Kennedy. She was just a big fan. And then the next picture was Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And then the last one was Luis Marin of Puerto Rico. So politics was always
A part of your
me,
life. Yeah.
And everything else. So I kept up with everything.
Where are you? You're from Puerto Rico?
I'm from Puerto Rico, but
Okay.
I came here when I was less than 2 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm more gringo on most days.
And so now you're running for District 5.
That's correct.
And that is, where is District 5? People, you guys should know this, and y'all should be answering these questions in the comment section yourselves to show us that you guys have been paying attention to Super Tuesdays. So, like always, we'll start out with the most basic questions. City Council, District 5. Where is District 5?
Well, District 5 encompasses all of Hyde Park, about half of Mattapan, about 40% of Rosendale.
Wow.
Okay, that's a good
That's a good size.
That's a good size. Yes, and this is the district formerly held by Councilor Arroyo.
I'm going to make you bilingual before.
Yes.
I got you.
I do a little Duolingo here and there.
She's had the Duolingo. She's put the Duolingo down, the Rosetta Stone. It's not sticking. It's not sticking.
Leave me alone.
She's too busy.
But yes, Councilor Arroyo, you are now there are 2. We started out with maybe 5, I think.
4.
4 of you guys running. Now we're down to 2 that's going into the general.
That's right.
And what does a city councilor actually do?
I want to let people know that the city councilor per neighborhood is the most important politician or the most important office that you can call, because we're in charge of making sure that things are fair and across the board, from city services to making sure the concerns are brought up at the city hall level. So we're your day-to-day activists. For every resident of those neighborhoods.
I like how you put that.
Me
Your
too.
day-to-day. I don't think I've ever heard anybody
Me either.
announce it like they're day-to-day activists. That's great.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
That's what we do. I like that.
Don't call me a politician yet. I haven't been a politician. This is from the heart.
And
That was pretty smooth, though.
Yes,
That was pretty smooth.
I like that.
I appreciate it.
And so when you say this is your first time running for politics, you've grown up in a politically, charged family and community and neighborhood. Why is this your first time running, and why are you running this time?
Well, I have to tell you that my mom's circle included Mel King. And as I got older, I was part of the circle of Ray Flynn.
Yeah.
And I saw how these gentlemen, how difficult it was for them to work and also raise their family or be a big part of their family. And I told my family that I would not venture into politics until my children were adults.
Oh, wow.
So now my children are raising my grandchildren. It's time for me to do more.
Yeah. Why until your children were adults?
Why? Because I wanted to be not just an average father. I wanted to be a great father.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I have 4 children. I raised 4 other girls, but I mentored so
All
many
girls,
other
you
children.
said?
Oh yeah, my place in heaven's reserved. If I don't get into heaven, me and God are gonna get into an argument. So don't get me started.
4 girls.
No, I have 3. I have 3 girls and a son.
Yeah.
But I raised 4 other girls, so 7.
4 other girls.
7 girls. Are
Wow.
granddaughters.
Wow. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Amen.
No, you know what though? That's very important, because I remember, and this is deep seated in me from when I was younger. We had someone come in and do a speech about Martin Luther King one day, and they were talking about Martin Luther King, and they were like, he was a great man, he was a great man, he was a great man, but he wasn't a good father and he wasn't a good husband because he didn't have the time to devote to his family. And so I really that's really, really honorable of you, because I understand, like you said, you're so busy out there all the time. I mean, we look at, like Mayor Wu or even the commissioner, they have to be everywhere all the time for all the things.
Yes.
And so it's just like, I can't imagine that your family doesn't suffer from that. So that's very honorable of you.
Well, thank you. That means the world to me. I have to say that I've always been involved with my children and my wife.
Yes.
I tell people all the time I was the ultimate multitasker.
Yes.
If I was on work, I found time to go to my kids' school.
Yeah.
Or I found time to have lunch with my lovely wife.
Yeah, right.
Or no one had a better calendar than me.
Yeah.
No one kept a better schedule than me, because my mom was on my schedule. You know how many times she wanted to hurt me for that. But it was really, really important that I kept these relationships not just going, but strong.
Absolutely.
So that's important to me.
That's
So
beautiful.
family first. I will share one secret with Boston. The only person that is allowed to break my calendar, my schedules, my wife's. My wife will call me, go, not today, Jose.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Happy spouse, happy house.
There you go.
If the wife happy, you happy too. So it's
Something must be working. We've been married 40 years.
That's amazing. That's beautiful.
Carlos, you had a question?
Thank you.
But I'm glad you actually brought that up because the narrative in Boston politics is Jose Ruiz is a police officer, right? Former police officer, and it kind of takes us in a narrative that we look down this. And so I was actually going to ask you about your other jobs, the father, the son, the coach, and how those inform your platform. As I looked at your platform around early education, public safety, and housing, how those jobs, not just being a police officer for so many years, but how those jobs really informed your policy and what you would bring to the city council.
I'm glad you brought that up, Carlos, because I keep asking people not to paint me into the same corner. It's not fair.
Yeah.
So I've also worked for the city 40 years. I was recruited when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I was 12 years in youth and family services when it was community centers.
Wow.
But officially didn't become a city employee until I was 22. So they recruited me when I was 15.
Wow.
And so I was there 12 years, and I went up to the ranks as a summer camp counselor, and I left there as their executive director.
Wow.
So I ran an organization and department. I ran a budget. During that time, I became the youngest president of Villa Victoria. And Villa Victoria at the time, back in the 80s, was actually in bankruptcy. So I got him out of bankruptcy, got national awards. I was one of the first.
Businessman as well.
Oh, I don't know. What I tell people, I was a scared businessman because I was reading everything as I went along because our biggest fear is a failure.
Failure, yeah.
You know what I mean? So after youth and family services, and I'm sorry, I'm old school. I call it community centers. It's always going to be community centers to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I left there and I went to the Boston Parks Department. And back then, there was no Office of Neighborhood Services. Every department had its liaison. So I was the primary person. I was the only person of color among the 4 to 5 people.
Wow.
And I covered most of Boston of neighborhoods of color. And someone had told me, my daughters had looked up, that I led about $51 million in park renovations.
Wow.
And so I've been around the bend. Why did I become a police officer? Because I always had 2 goals in life. Professionally, and that was I wanted to get into law enforcement, and I also wanted to venture into politics. And God has been great, and so I got one goal done, and I actually think I've achieved that other goal because I helped a lot of other people get into politics and watched them grow and mentored them. And now I feel it's my time. I'm a little older. I want one more challenge.
But why now?
Why not?
And why politics? There's a way. I think I don't remember who we spoke to before, but you don't necessarily have to be a politician to advocate and things like that. So at this time in your life, when you've accomplished a lot of really great things, why? And maybe because it's my feelings with politics. Politics seems to me like you got to really be into service to be a politician. Now when you can kind of take your time and relax and enjoy the grandchildren and all kinds of stuff. Like, why would you put yourself? And I don't want to phrase it like this, but why would you put yourself in a position where you literally now have to work for the people all over again?
So I'm gonna use the proverbial fence. So I've been on one side of the fence as a community activist, as a softball coach, baseball coach, basketball coach, volleyball coach, football organizer. I've done all those things. But also from that side of the fence, I've done a lot of political advocacy. Listen, I grew up around domestic violence. I hated it. It defined me. It made me an over-aggressive person for years because I wanted to be the defender of the women in my family. And I learned to be a domestic violence workshop leader. Then I learned to be that presenter of teen dating violence, anti-teen dating violence.
Which is very big.
So I did a lot of things on that side of the fence.
Right.
I want to be on the other side of the fence because my intel, I think, helps District 5 and the city of Boston. My intel, my work that I did on that side is, I think, such an advantage that I think I am the best candidate for that. I want to give you, for instance, I also worked for the Red Sox 17 years while I was a police officer.
The Red Sox?
Yeah. I was the executive director or the director of reviving baseball in the inner cities. And so I brought that up. It was supposed to be only for kids of color at the time, and I absolutely refused to run anything that's one-sided. My family represents the melting pot. I can't talk bad about anybody because I might be insulting someone I love or a culture that I love. But I convinced the Red Sox to open it up to everybody else. And baseball and youth softball was used as a conduit towards peaceful relationships. I had kids from West Roxbury becoming best friends with kids from the South End, and kids from Roxbury becoming best friends with kids out of Rosendale. So I've learned all those things. I went to the Mattapan and Hyde Park Pop Warner football game this weekend, and it just reminded me how I could reach some peaceful resolve.
Was that at Almont Park with the Mattapan Panthers?
It was actually over here on Reservation Road.
Okay.
And I heard that a big fight broke out after I left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is always sad. But, I remind people when I was part of the Red Sox and everybody else, I was part of some consortiums, and I just remember all the things I've learned. So the coaches in my youth leagues had to be part of the Positive Coaching Alliance. Why? Because when you fight, you don't teach anything. Anything you taught these children goes right out the window. You taught them that fighting is a necessity to get your word across. And I have an issue being an inner city person where that type of stigma and bad reputation we have.
Yes.
My folks of Boston are not racist. My folks of Boston are not over aggressive. My folks of Boston are good people. But sometimes we get in our own way.
Yes, we do.
And so sometimes we need these kind of reminders, whether we are associated with the Positive Coaching Alliance that I learned through the Red Sox and the NCAA and actually through the U.S. Olympics, believe it or not, of constantly teaching the parents their roles on being the correct role models for our young people.
Right, yeah.
So, I talk about getting on the city council and creating legacy funds in order for you. I hate to see our kids, once they win a Pop Warner championship, on corners asking for money.
So this is another thing too. When it comes to, and this might be kind of segueing into some of your issues and priorities, public safety. So we're talking about fighting, we're talking about kids, and what we've seen in the news over and over again is that there seems to be an influx of, I guess I would say, for lack of better words, bad behavior.
Sure.
We're seeing the kids in not only South Bay, but in other parts in the city.
North
really,
End.
North End.
Yep.
At the
Crossing,
schools, at the high schools. It's an influx of just wild behavior instead of bad, just very wild behavior and not caring behavior. One of the things that are in your public safety issues and priorities is the expansion of strengthening community policing and increase community engagement, expand mental health services, and invest in programs that get to the root of the cause. These are all root causes of the inner city children. It's almost like they don't got no guidance. How do we strengthen the relationship between police and the inner city to try to get a hold of these kids that are kind of like wilding out, for the lack of better terms?
Better proactive approaches.
Like what?
I'll give you the best example. When I was a police officer, and hold up, I want to go backwards for a second, because I'm talking to a good Christian child on the other side of the phone, dear Carlos. When Sandy said, Carlos, home at 6, it wasn't 6:01, right? It was more like 5:50.
Yes.
And we want to be able to build better families too.
Right.
Yes.
And that's important
Absolutely.
too.
Yeah.
Man, listen, if it wasn't for St. Stephen's Church and the foundation I got there, and also was working with my mom, I don't think we'd ever have that great foundation. But you need real, measurable, proactive approaches. And the best example I can give you, when I was a community service officer in B3, we had a horrific homicide over in Franklin Field. And when we went there, and I had a great mentor in Captain Jimmy Claiborne, James Claiborne, phenomenal, who's a Hyde Park resident too, by the way, still here.
Yeah.
We had the tenants dare us to build a youth and family resource center. I said,
Dare
okay.
you.
Okay.
Watch me work.
because I'm the founder of my local Little League too, which came with training programs for everybody.
Yeah.
I was like one of those. The more you get people in the room to have discussions on different topics, the more understanding you get.
Yeah.
Franklin Field, once we built that teen center within a year, by the way, I wish you don't have enough time to explain how, I don't have enough time today to explain how we got that. Just want to let you know that about 60-70% of that center was built by presently incarcerated men out of Norfolk County.
Do they still do things like that?
I don't know. I'm out of that mix for a while.
Yeah.
But we convinced the Norfolk County sheriff at the time to bring in these gentlemen to work with the trades, especially the trades of colored people.
Absolutely.
Who built this place and made it what it was.
I think that's beautiful.
The inclusivity was phenomenal.
Yeah. It's community centered in general. Yeah.
So we built the center. The police built the center, and then we went down to the Downtown Businessmen's Association, and with a little tear in the eye, they gave us $1 million.
Wow.
And so we were able to have that center open 6 years. And I want to let you know this. And please, I always tell people, don't believe anything I say or anyone says. You do the research.
Right.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Once that center was open in Franklin Field, get ready. 60% reduction of crime in the first year.
Wow.
Interesting.
And what we ended up doing is negotiating with the police officers in the Mattapan Station, B3, who I love. They will always be my brothers and sisters. We got them to always volunteer at least once a month to come to the center for 4 hours a day.
And see, that's exactly how you increase
did
police
that.
community policing. Because if I see you out and you know my name and you know who I am, then I think you'd be less inclined to, get into trouble.
That's the whole, officer friendly community policing is what that was.
See, I don't think that's good enough, though.
Yeah.
The next step was, how do we get the families engaged into youth and family service? There was days that we had game nights with just adults, just to have rap session on how we can be better leaders for our children. I didn't say parents, leaders for our children, because my mom influenced a lot of young people in my time, and the Enriquez influenced a lot of young people. There's a lot of young people who are missing a father, who are missing a mother, who are missing that family foundation that they still seek. I don't know any child that does not seek discipline. I'm
glad you put it that way. I think that's a tough statement, because I feel like kids, when they don't have any type of discipline, that's when they
They'll
just
act out until they do.
Exactly. I want to know, even for adults too, like you want boundaries, you want laws and rules, because your mind can wander to do so many other things. And I think that when you have these boundaries and you have these rules, you're inclined to follow something. Even if you don't follow it, you know that it's there. You know that it's wrong, and it puts a big stake in the sand that, stop here. This is where you stop. Carlos, go ahead.
Can I jump in around a little? Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Tony, you had a
go ahead, Carlos.
River Street Bridge question.
No,
so I just wanted to jump around. I know there's one question came in from the commenters about getting the River Street Bridge open and supporting those businesses. And then I have a few quick lightning questions for you, but I want to let you speak to the River Street because that came from a possible future constituent.
So River Streets, that's on the state, unfortunately. So let me just say this to the state. If you have to fix it more than twice, maybe it's time to replace it.
Yes, exactly.
That makes sense.
And I continuously say, welcome to my small city with narrow roads. So when one bridge is down, that creates havoc all over the place.
Everywhere.
And so maybe we need to look at other streets that make sense where we can add additional bridges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because maybe that bridge is used so much that its maintenance is difficult to keep.
Yeah.
And people are forgetting that. Listen, our celebration for our campaign was at a small business right on the bridge. Because I met, Janina, I'm trying to remember, Janina Ricard. She opens a space there, she rents it out, she had a church there, she had different things, and she's having a difficult time renting the place. I met a caterer who's having a difficult time doing this. We could have had our celebration at one of the restaurants and everything else, and we got really good restaurants on District 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
But man, I wanted to help a couple of minority businesses who are affected because of that bridge being closed down.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole community is affected by that bridge being closed down. It is, like even now, what has it been, a year now? Over a year?
Over a year.
Over a year now, and they're still not proposed to build it back until 2025.
Right.
But it is a sore to the community over here, because that is literally connecting one part of the street, one part of the city to the other part. And then if you don't, you really got to go out of your way to go back.
Is that something we can lean on Representative Robert Consalvo about? I'm sure that he's well known in Hyde Park and is an advocate for Hyde Park for many years.
We're going to have to get Mr. Consalvo in here. to talk about it specifically.
And that's my guy. I love Rob Consalvo. No one works harder than Rob Consalvo. You know, this is a subject that's difficult for him, but, you know, wink, wink, you know, something like the Angelo Scotia Memorial Bridge sounds really, really good title for that bridge. That's all I'm going to say.
You already got a name and everything.
We can't forget the heroes in the neighborhood, too, but I'm sincere that maybe we need to look at alternate streets where we can add a few more bridges.
I think that's
as long as it does, everything impacts the neighborhood, so we have to look at things that lightly impact our neighborhood.
Yeah,
so
things that could just alleviate some of the pain points.
Thank you.
Yes.
I couldn't think of the word. Thank you, Sauce. I appreciate you.
Gotcha.
All right.
Other things, and as we kind of wind down, Carlos, you said you had some rapid fire questions because we're hitting the time.
So I'll try to get through them quickly. So you finished second in the preliminary. I think it was about 35% of the vote. So there's a little bit of ground to make up. But as we know, voter turnout is usually much larger in the finals than it is in the preliminary. The media has kind of billed the first place finisher Enrique Pepin from the Wu administration as the progressive candidate. Are you the conservative candidate, or do those titles not fit accurately?
Oh man, I'm an objective Democrat. I admit to so many young people, how can I just call myself a conservative? You know, there's some really good ideas. I'm looking at two young ladies, really, and I don't know it all. I gotta listen to you.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're progressive or conservative, you still have to vote for who you think is the right person.
Yeah.
You're talking to the right person.
I like, just to let you know, you're talking to the right person.
That confidence is amazing.
The city council just put out legislation to track guns back to their origin, making sure that they can find all the places they've been sold, who manufactured it, to try to interrupt this pipeline that's been infecting and affecting the city of Boston for years. Is that a piece of legislation that you would support if you're a member of the Boston City Council?
Listen, Carlos, you've done this for a long time. Almost anything and everything we've tried has not worked. It still comes down to people.
Yeah.
You hear me? Listen, I know phenomenal gun owners and I know irresponsible gun owners. The reality of things is, how do we reduce guns on the streets? Sometimes, you know, I tell people, I'm not one of those that, my mentor, one of my mentors, Captain Robert Dunford, who used to say, I don't want to see arrests, I want to see quality arrests.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not into arresting anybody. I'm not into hurting young people and stuff like that. But I am sure into getting guns off the street. And if we start taking a zero tolerance on guns, you know, the judicial system doesn't enforce the 1 year mandatory.
Right.
And no one wants a son or a daughter or anybody in jail and stuff like that. But I've seen folks, you know, violate that law and next week be out on the street.
Yeah.
And then you have a whole neighborhood's afraid of them. I get it, Carlos. I will be in support of anything that reduces guns on the street. Can we get to the heart of the matter? And that's getting people, hold them responsible. Man,
I think we talk about that a lot too, because we read the stories in the news all the time, and we're like, sometimes we're reading these stories and it was like, oh, this is a career criminal, and I like, why were they out on the street in order to commit another crime? If they've been doing, they're on probation and then just got arrested for doing something else while on probation, things like that. Allegedly. So, you know, like, how is it that you, I mean, even with that question, Carlos, I like that question a lot because it's like, there are some conservative rules that I think a lot of people would be down to follow, except when you start to introduce words like conservative, it makes people kind of, you know, shy away from it. I like to call myself, I think I'm an independent voter right now. I think I changed officially.
Right. I like that. But when you know better, you vote better.
Exactly. Right? Because at the same time, there's a lot of conservative views that I'm like, what the hell? And then there's other ones that's like, yep. Do it, you know, electric chair. Let me not. But, you know, like there's things like that we do have to have we have to have some leeway on, some push and pull. There's some progressive things that I'm like, holy smokes, this is not the right move. And then there's other things that I'm like, oh, this is really great for us. How do you draw the line?
So I just want to add these examples. If you remember last October, there was a teacher that took a gun away from a 7-year-old.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
That's my family member.
Oh, wow.
If you remember 2 years ago in Charleston High where someone took random shots at graduation?
Yes.
I had several family members in that crowd. You remember the boy that got killed who was 13 years old by the
By the with the
he's
grandma's going to
he's a
house.
former first grader of one of my daughters who's a teacher.
Oh, no.
So is this personal to me? You bet. It really is. Listen, I won't mention names, but you had a 14-year-old killed by a 22-year-old family member. You know what I mean? You had 3 women killed in success, and we seem to forget things 10 days after that.
Yes.
I don't.
Right.
And no one should. Their memories have to live on, and generally the best way to memorialize them is by going after the people, whether it was accidental or not, to make sure it's not repeated. Guys, I am not into hurting people, but I don't want people hurting me or the ones that I love either.
That's true.
And that's important.
I like that you said that. I don't want nobody to get hurt, but I also don't want my people to get hurt either. Carlos, you have more?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go through. I don't want to bore anybody with policy. I could talk policy all day with you when you talk about investing for first-time home buyers and down payment funding coming from the city. But there were questions around the gang database and OPAT, and there's also. But I guess I'll play more to the crowd, the listeners. There seems to be an undercurrent in the background with the leading candidate being from the Wu administration, and you securing the support of many of the incumbents of that area and some of the predecessors of representative offices, including Mayor Walsh. Can you speak about your relationships that you've been able to develop over the years with these electeds and why they're kind of lining up behind you in this race?
Because I'm a good person. Let's start off that way.
Very
seriously,
out the box. Yes.
more than anything else, people who know me really, really well will tell you, Jose Ruiz doesn't deny his friends whether they've done good or bad. When they've done bad things, I pull a hot sauce and go, "What the hell was on your mind?"
What you do there, girl?
Because I still want to know what was there, because if I knew her only as a good person, I want to know why you made that mistake, because I wouldn't be part of her rehab too.
Right.
Listen, forgiving is still divine. And there's still people that need to be doing that, but they have to learn their lesson. I get it. I will never deny Marty Walsh of being someone special to me. I met him in 1989. He's always going to be my little bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Michelle Wu, she'll tell you I've exacted kindness towards her a couple times. I remember some gentleman was really rude to her, and I came to her defense when she was about 6 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I'm a good person, but people also know that there's a little edge to me. I grew up in the projects too, yo. Oh, did I just say like
yo?
I believe him.
Carlos, they pulled it out of me, Carlos.
It came out. I believe
family.
you.
It's a family.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be gentle with it. It's a family.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. My wife is going to hurt me. But anyway, it's just a point, too, that I know who's for me. I know who's against me. I don't know all the particulars why, but we also know that if it's your people that you have access to, you know what I mean, you're probably going to listen to you more. I've always been one of those people that I love the folks around me. I will always listen to them, but it's my decision.
Yeah.
And I'm 63 years old, and I'm not afraid of anyone. Absolutely no one.
Does that get in your way sometimes when you do? I know that a lot of people are shy away from overconfidence. I'm not saying that you're overconfident, but a lot of people shy away from confidence when people exude a lot of confidence. Have you found that has hurt you, or has that helped you?
So the greatest compliment I've ever gotten was someone said he is the most humble person you can meet. Again, I went to football games, and I don't want anyone to know who I am. I put on my hoodie.
Incognito in the back.
And then I found Enrique Pepin, and we actually hung out for about 45 minutes. And all we did was talk. He's a good young man.
Yeah.
And think about it. If I was that bold, nasty, obnoxious, would I have done something like that?
Yeah.
And then there's a few other parents that I introduced him to, and they would tell him, all the stories about me, too. I am no anything else but humble. I'm afraid to be anything less than humble.
Yeah.
But you can't also be shy.
Right.
If you're going to be the right advocate for your folks, you can't be shy.
I love that.
You can't, man. Listen, for the example, going back to Franklin Field, at the money was turned down at state level. That's free money. And we live now in a camera and video society. You get your picture taken 250 to 350 times in a day. Good people don't care if they're taking pictures.
Thank you.
Say that, yes.
Bad folks cover up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so were those cameras, could they help those 5 people who were shot at Franklin Field? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would love to have the cameras.
Yeah.
I really would have.
Right.
You know what I mean? You had 47 shots that rang out on the 4th of July on Edgewater Drive.
Yeah.
That means 47 people could have been killed.
Exactly.
Do you want someone not going to speak up on behalf, and listen, that's probably the community's fault too. Yeah, we made a mistake.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath, own it, and how can we get the money to move on?
Right.
I'm a solution-based person. After we identified the problem, what are the solutions to solve it? And we do need to have, I'm sorry for, my French, but we need to have a no bullshit approach onto what is going on in the city right now. Every day is getting a little bit more heavy to read, a little bit more to, to understand what is going around you. And at the same time, we're also getting very numb to it as well, where, like you said, it will last and everybody's in an uproar on Facebook for those first 48, and then after that it's like, okay, where'd everybody go? Yeah. With that said,
I know
go ahead.
we're wrapping up, Hot Sauce. I just want to come back to this because I don't want people to miss this. As Super Tuesday, we always trying to educate people about voting better in their civic engagement. A lot of people shy away from the term politician, and I'm a politician. I've been a politician because of the household I grew up in, and I want people to realize that politician is not. It's not. Even though they try to make it seem like it's sleazy, and it's not. When we come off as smooth, when we come off as confident, when we come off as talking about our community, as I think this man has done during this whole interview, it's from knowledge and experience. And that's what I think makes a good politician. Not necessarily that they're just using the words, but their words and leadership come from a place of experience.
Yes.
So I'm glad we've actually had this opportunity because so much has been said to make it seem a very narrow narrative. So, Mr. Ruiz, I appreciate you coming on and being able to open up that and show us more of yourself as a not only a cop but a coach, a husband, a dad, a day-to-day activist in the community. Because I think that's what people need to hear more genuine advocacy in their community from regular people, from everyday people. So I just want to put that out there.
And just even to add to that, like, it is refreshing, and I know that it is also refreshing to see a lot of women sit in on the council, but at the same time, we have seen that there is almost, there's maybe one man of color on the city council. Is that Brian, I believe? And I think that a community needs to see diversity. Like, we do need to see diversity. We need to keep that at the forefront. And I'm happy that you're a diverse man, that you are a man of color, because it does make a difference for us to see representation in all forms. Not just Black, not just Puerto Rican, not whatever. We want to see a very diverse council that comes with a lot of different set of skills that can work together to make everything. I mean, one last question with that said. We've seen a lot of behavior in the city council over the last 2 years, whether it be like a lot of different things. We've seen a lot of behavior, let's put it that way. How do you think that you can help the atmosphere, the climate? Yes. In the city council, because that also needs to be done cohesively with everybody else, because there's 13 altogether. Yeah, so how can we change the climate and that's not even the word that I'm looking for. The culture.
I know.
The culture.
So here's my plan. My plan is to be the adult in the room. That's the first thing. The other thing too is, if you look at my reputation, I tell people wherever I've gone, I've been a unifier. Yeah. Because you have to learn people's personalities and their flaws along, with their strengths. And I believe I spend enough time to get to know folks. Yeah. But the other thing too is, I know when to be a mediator, and I also know when to be a moderator. But the one thing I'm always good at is being myself. Yeah. As long as you start good and you end good, you go to sleep well at night. Yeah. And that's what I intend to do.
I like that. It's a nice, precise answer. We hope to see better behavior across the board. And as usual, I wish you the best on your campaign. We'll see you in November.
Can we get websites and contacts for the listeners out there? How can they reach out for you in the campaign and
I'll also
learn more about you or volunteer?
Yeah, RuizForCouncil.com. I don't say no to volunteers. Come on down. There's plenty of work to do. I want people to be educated voters. I don't want people to be full of fluff. Get out and vote.
Yes.
If you're really going to complain, at least cast your vote.
And I'm putting his information right here in the comment section so that you guys can go take a look at his website. If you feel inclined to donate, please do. We're not shy to ask for donations over here. We're also, if you guys want to see any of these counselors or any politicians back, make sure you guys let us know. Mr. Jose Ruiz, thank you so much for your time and for speaking to our audience and making sure our community knows who you are. I'm excited because this is the first time I've gotten to speak to you. I know all of the counselors and the people that are coming up now. We want to just make sure that you guys know that Spark FM is here to help you guys get your messages across. So if you need anything, please don't be afraid or hesitate to hit us up. And we will talk to you. We'll be outside with you. We're usually out campaigning alongside of you. And thank you for your service.
Thank you, everybody.
With that said, people, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back in a few moments. Keep it locked right here to Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We'll be right back in a few minutes.
The thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM.
Miami Brewer Junior Carnival 2023 Family Fun Day, presented by TD Bank on September 30th. Gates open at 1 p.m. at the Central Brewer Park, 3700 Northwest, 11th Place, Lauderdale, Florida. Bring your blankets, chairs, and umbrellas. Come, relax and see 12 participating junior bands, junior steel band competition, junior soca, calypso, mona, and live performances. Advanced tickets available now at all Caribbean outlets and MiamiCarnival.org. Sponsored by Visit Lauderdale, Gabriel Renard, Smart Water, Spotify, iHeartMedia, and Synergy TV.
Did you know that you can now get a standard Massachusetts driver's license regardless of your immigration status? To get help with your application, a list of all required documents, and nearby appointment scheduling, visit mass.gov/WFMA. Your license is your way forward, so why not get started today? Register now at mass.gov/WFMA or call 857-368-WFMA.
Boston, get ready to celebrate in style. It's a year of celebration, and V-Side Production proudly presents the 10th anniversary of Boston Caribbean Fashion.
Tell them I'm gone, I said tell them I'm gone, don't even bother calling me.
From October 18th to the 21st, immerse yourself in the world of beauty, culture, fashion, and style. Join us for the fabulous fashion events including a God Design Show and the BCFW Honors Award Ceremony and the unforgettable Teen Fashion Night. Don't miss the grand finale as BCFW closes out the week with a sensational fashion show at Roxbury Community College Auditorium, featuring New England's top designers and a special musical performance by incredible Sophia Leslie. Boston Caribbean Fashion Week is the event of the year, October 18th to the 21st. Get your tickets today at bostoncfw.com and be a part of the amazing celebration of style. Boston Caribbean Fashion Week, where fashion meets culture. Be there.
Cannafan's high-profile Bodega Cannabis Shop is now serving Boston in 3 locations. Be sure to stop by Dorchester, Rosendale, and Roxbury for the best prices on OZs and J's. Not to mention edibles, carts, concentrates, and more. Download the high-profile app on the App Store or Google Play to keep up to date on Boston's best bundles. Experience the best prices and see how we roll at High Profile Bodega. Visit highprofilecannabis.com for additional details.
Attention, gentlemen. Are you looking for a suit that will make you look sharp and feel confident? Look no further than Allen's Formal Wear, a Boston legacy business. Our expert staff will help you find the perfect suit for any occasion. With a wide selection of colors, styles, and sizes, we have something for everyone. And the best part, our affordable prices won't break the bank. So why settle for a mediocre suit when you can stand out in Allen's Formal Wear? Visit us today at 594 Blue Hill Ave, Dorchester, or allensformalwear.com to book an appointment. Visit us today at 594 Blue Hill Ave, Dorchester, or Allens, ALLANS, formalwear.com to book an appointment. Allen's Formal Wear. We are dressing you for success.
Want to give your baby a head start? Get the best protection against flu and COVID-19. Because their immune system isn't fully developed at birth, babies need additional protection. When you get vaccinated while pregnant, it can keep you and your baby from getting sick. As they get older, this can result in more time in school and daycare for them, and more productive time at work for you. Vaccines are safe and effective for children as they grow. No matter where you are on your pregnancy journey, flu and COVID vaccines can boost your and your baby's natural defenses and protect your family. Stay up to date with your vaccines. Stay healthy. Talk with your trusted healthcare provider today. Brought to you by the Boston Public Health.
Spark FM.
Medication. Your medication makes me high.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I woo. And she let it clap for it.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up.
She like man, we ride. Big ride, big ride, big.
Spark FM.
Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are back. We were just talking to Mr. Jose Ruiz. He is running for District 5 here in Hyde Park, Massachusetts. So, with that said, we're going to get into our national and world news. And Noah, take it away. Miss Tony, what you got for us?
What do I have? Well, what do we have here? A Pennsylvania state trooper is accused of abusing his position to forcibly commit his ex-girlfriend to the psych ward.
That is effed up.
That is terrible. He was charged with felony strangulation and several misdemeanors after he used his position in law enforcement to forcibly restrain and involuntarily commit his ex-girlfriend to a psych ward. Ronald K. Davis, 37, was also charged with unlawful restraint, false imprisonment, simple assault, official oppression, and recklessly endangering another person. What is official?
What the hell is official oppression?
Official oppression. Official oppression. The charges stem from August 21st when he petitioned for an involuntary mental health commitment for his ex-girlfriend, saying she was suicidal based on text messages he received. Davis then used the approved commitment document to restrain her without authorization from his supervisor, according to a police affidavit. A spokesperson for the Pennsylvania State Police said on Monday that Davis was suspended without pay after the charges were filed on Thursday. Jay Negrini, an attorney for Davis, said that he was troubled by Davis being denied bail and had filed a motion to get him released on bail. We are confident once all of the facts come to light, Mr. Davis committed no crime, but was seeking to protect a troubled young woman who was in need of immediate medical attention.
That sounds like BS. So official oppression is if a person is guilty of official oppression if being a public servant and acting with the intention to benefit himself or another or to harm another person. Well, it's not official oppression. It's like from an oppression from an official. Yes.
Oppression.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell is official? Because I feel like I'm being officially oppressed all the time.
Oh, child. Davis located the woman and did not explain to her why she was being restrained. So he just went up to her and was like, come with me.
First of all, that's kidnap.
Exactly. Leading to a physical altercation in which he drove her to the ground and subdued her. According to the charge documents, the woman was committed to a psychiatric facility for 72 hours. The charging documents state that the text messages Davis used to secure the official documentation were part of a larger context that revealed her frustration with Trooper Davis and his controlling behavior and her desire to break off the relationship, not a true desire to harm herself. So she probably like, you drive me so crazy I feel to kill myself. And he was like,
here you go.
Coming to get you.
I'm gonna lock you up because you are crazy.
Exactly. Trooper Davis' admission was critical in the securing of the involuntary mental health commitment after David said Davis has been a state trooper since 2015 and is stationed in Jonestown, Pennsylvania. These men is wicked.
Wicked to blood clean.
That is so awful.
This is mean.
An update to that New York fentanyl daycare case.
Oh, yes.
A third arrest has been made in connection with that, of the death of the little boy.
Did you see that it was hidden in a trap door?
Somebody mentioned that the other day, but this is my first time seeing the picture. Look at how dare they slander Target's name by using all those good Target bags to hide their fentanyl on the floor.
And first of all, Target bags is 10 cents if you put in the right number, because I don't put in the right number because, child,
I don't put in no number. You just put in a number.
I don't put in a number. They be like, how many? I got 5 bags. How many bags you got? Zero. Zero bags.
Zero. A third person has been arrested and charged in connection with the death of a 1-year-old boy who was exposed to the highly potent drug fentanyl at a Bronx daycare, where large quantities of narcotic were stored under a trap floor in a room where children played and slept.
This is crazy.
Disgusting.
It's crazy to me. It is absolutely nutso to me. While you would be handling fentanyl and or any other drugs, while you have babies in your possession.
That's disgusting.
Crazy.
It's nasty. Authorities identified the man as Renny Antonio Para Paredes, 38, and charged him on Monday in U.S. District Court in Manhattan with 1 count of conspiracy to distribute narcotics resulting in death. They've reached out to his attorney for comment, and so far no comment.
And what you supposed to do as the parents of the baby who died? Are you supposed to beat their ass?
Yeah.
Because what's the
Pistol
justice?
whip them. Pistol whip.
Because I sent my baby to you, and new moms, they already have a hard time sending their babies to go be with somebody else who might not love them or take care of them. You send your baby, and then it dies from fentanyl.
Yeah.
No, you don't kill my baby from fentanyl. Let me see if I can pull up the story for you guys to see the pictures of what is going on here, because it is bizarre behavior.
The woman who owned and operated the daycare and a second suspect have now been indicted on various charges, including murder. Now, investigators are still searching for a third suspect believed to be the woman's husband. He was seen on surveillance video leaving the center last week with plastic bags that appeared to contain large square items. Authorities believe that he was carrying out fentanyl. CNN Chief Law Enforcement and Intelligence Analyst John Miller is here with us now. Let's talk about what is a manhunt for someone the authorities, I think, believe was key in this operation.
They do believe that. I mean, the fact that he is the husband of the woman running the daycare center really raises this question. Was the daycare center just a daycare center, or was it a front for a much more profitable drug organization? And the answer is appearing more to be the latter, meaning having those kids there. They were licensed by the city and the state to care for up to 8 kids. And that means a lot of coming and going, cars pulling up, parents going in, dropping off, picking up, which actually gave a veneer of a busy location on a quiet residential street that allowed for the other business to continue, all those ins and outs looking normal.
Disgusting.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's Rico.
They said that he had an instrumental role in the conspiracy and in connection with the death of the child and the exposure of 3 other children to the drug. Traffickers,
they were all taken to the hospital.
Yep. Traffickers often hide contraband in inconspicuous or unsuspecting locations with no regard for their safety. In this case, the daycare's floorboards were used as concealment, putting children's lives at risk who innocently sat on the floor to play. And that's how I feel. Like I said, I feel like if I'm near fentanyl, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, if you breathe in it, if it's in the air, I feel like fentanyl kills you airborne.
Yep. And then here goes these babies just sitting on the floor innocently in the circle time. And dying from fentanyl.
I'm laying on the mat, chewing on my little fingers, and I'm just eating fentanyl.
Eating on fentanyl. Yep.
Terrible.
Yep. El Paso Walmart shooter who targeted Hispanics agrees to pay his families more than $5 million. And I want to know where he gets the money from.
Say it again,
where he gets money from.
Because where you get it from?
Well, because first of all, he was sentenced to 90 consecutive life sentences after he pleaded guilty to dozens of federal charges, including hate crime counts in July. The El Paso, Texas Walmart shooter who killed 23 people in a racist rampage against Hispanics in 2019 has agreed to pay over $5 million in restitution to to the victim's family. The 25-year-old shooter was sentenced to 90 consecutive life sentences in prison in July after he pleaded guilty. Authorities have said he was fueled by white nationalist ideas and had posted a diatribe against immigrants before he targeted Hispanics armed with a rifle. A court document filed on Monday in District Court for the Western District of Texas titled Joint Motion of Agreed Restitution says the shooter agrees to pay restitution the amount of $5,557,000, $5.55.
It's not 55 cents dollars. Two things. I am not making light of this situation, right? And I don't want this to sound crazy, but I would agree to any amount of dollars that y'all want me to pay too. Because where the hell I'm going to get $5 million while I'm serving a 90-year sentence?
Right.
I agree. Do you agree to pay $25,000 trillion? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Well, he still faces a separate trial in Texas where he's charged with 23 counts of capital murder and could be eligible for the death penalty. So at this point, put some more money on him.
I would like to pay them $3 billion. And again, I don't think that makes me feel good. I don't think that makes the family feel good. I don't think that anybody cares about that, about you giving me $5 million. I'll never, ever see it. I'll never get my family member back. You will be in jail for the rest of your life.
That's just insult to injury. That's ridiculous. No. It's disgusting.
Now somebody owe me $5 million and they kill my baby. And what?
Yep.
I wish Texas was... That was Texas?
Texas.
I wish Texas was shut up.
Well, speaking of disgusting... Adam Britton, NT crocodile expert, raped dozens of puppies and tortured 39 dogs to death before telling the owners that their pets were settling in well at his shelter. No, I'm not going to pick you.
Please pick me.
A prominent crocodile expert and academic has pleaded guilty to a slew of animal cruelty charges, including the rape and torture of dogs. Adam Robert Corden Britton, 51, began his offending in 2014, torturing and sexually exploiting more than 42 dogs until his arrest in April of 2022. Britton, an academic at Charles Darwin University, stood calmly as he pleaded guilty to the 56 counts in Northern Territory Supreme Court on Monday. He also pleaded guilty to 4 counts of assessing and transmitting child abuse material. Before prosecutors Marty Ulst read out the agreed facts of the charges, and the Northern Territory Chief Justice Michael Grant urged the public, gallery, security staff, and media to leave the court. These facts contain material that can only be described as grotesque and perverse acts of cruelty, which is confronting and distressing, and which, in my assessment, have the potential to cause nervous shock.
This is my other thing. When you got to excuse the audience from the courtroom in order to try somebody who has done horrible things, I get due process of law. However, in this situation, perhaps the law has already done its process and we should pick the jail up and place it upon his neck.
With his 2 legs sticking out.
Yes, like the witch. Why do we have to go through a trial for somebody who rapes puppies? Who does that?
They said the details of the offending are too gruesome to be published, but resulted in the death of 39 dogs. The offender has had a sadistic sexual interest in animals, and in particularly dogs, as well as torturing his own dogs. He sourced other canines off of Gumtree, Australia, with unsuspecting owners in the Darwin region. So this is down in Australia. He often built a rapport with the dog owners in negotiating, taking custody of their animals, many of whom had to reluctantly give their pets away due to travel or work commitments. In one scenario, he sent a message to the owners of a large brown dog to reassure them the animal was settling in well. Wolf was relaxed and eating well and enjoying her new home, the message wrote, but unbeknownst to the previous owners, the dog had already been sexually exploited, tortured, and killed. Britton, a former academic who once hosted legendary broadcaster and biologist David Attenborough, would share videos and images of himself sexually exploiting the dogs on online forums under pseudonyms.
How the hell do you sexually exploit a dog?
The video was eventually sent to the Animal Welfare Branch and passed on to the police, who arrested him in 2022. He has remained in custody since then. He was prominent crocodile expert and a senior researcher at the CDU. None of his offending is alleged to have been against the reptiles, so he didn't do anything.
So you didn't rape the crocodiles, but you raped the dogs?
He raped the dogs and killed them.
Why did he rape the crocodiles? I would implore him to go rape the crocodiles.
You don't know what that means.
You don't need to know what it means because it's terrible.
What's happening on your phone?
Hey.
Sorry. And that is what happened. And that is the national news.
Okay. All right. If this is the foolishness that we want to do in the world, I just feel like Jesus is coming. And I've been telling y'all for a long time to get your life in order and get your things. There's people out here actually doing crazy things to puppies. To the puppies. Who hates puppies?
I don't know. It's like, the way I feel about this story and the guy that slashed the tires, it's just like, what's wrong? Why?
Why
y'all do these things? Why you do that for?
I don't know.
And then in the interest of time, we'll just roll into the entertainment news. Agree? Okay.
Save that first one for last.
All right. Bruce Willis' wife, Emma, has been giving us updates on Bruce Willis's health. He's just deteriorating. There's no... today, an exclusive, Bruce Willis's wife, Emma, shares an update on his battle with frontotemporal dementia and opens up about how she explains it to her daughters. I don't want there to be any stigma or shame attached to their dad's diagnosis or any form of dementia, she says. Willis is joined by someone else who is giving her some information, giving additional information on this disease. Bruce Willis is just, he's just not doing well.
No,
not going to be doing well.
And he's not going to get.
Yeah,
he's progressing.
He's progressing, and they're doing the best that they can to take care of him while he's progressing. It's really, really, really sad story, especially for somebody who just you don't hear.
Yeah,
I think we don't hear about things like this
and stuff. Yeah,
right.
That sucks.
Yeah. So that's Bruce Willis. Travis Kelce's jersey skills skyrocket since he's now dating Taylor Swift. I guess he pursued her hard, and now. He's really popular. Taylor Swift came to I
was talking about this morning. Can you tell me who he is? I know he was with a sexy black girl, beautiful black girl.
So he was. I think he played in the last Super Bowl. Him and his brother were both in the last Super Bowl.
Oh.
I don't know if they were on the same team or if they were against each other, but they both played in the last Super Bowl. So that's how we know who he is. The Swifties seemingly rushed to get their Travis Kelce merch after Taylor was spotted supporting her new potential love interest at Sunday's game because the Kansas City Chiefs superstars jerseys are flying off the shelves. Now, apparently, he kind of stalked her a little bit to kind of pique her interest, and then she showed up at the game.
How did he stalk her? Tell me what
he went to one of her concerts and was trying to give her his phone number. He made several efforts to try to get at her. I don't know how he could go from a thick, beautiful black woman to this stick, but that's
it's Tay-Tay though. It's Tay-Tay. We've got to take their appearances out because this is an opportunity. It's Tay-Tay.
Well, that's what he's doing. She was sitting with his mom at the
game yesterday.
At the game the other day.
When I saw the commentary and the news around this, you would think that she was the Queen of England and he is, Prince Charming or whatever. They had Bill Belichick even commenting on Taylor Swift and Travis. For what? Why is this the news? Why is this the top sports news on ESPN is Taylor Swift dating this football player?
Child.
I'm telling you.
That's what we made it. Alicia Keys files a trademark for Alicia Tease.
That's mad cute.
Alicia Tease, 3 years after husband Swiss Beats surprised her with a personalized tea gift line with the same name for her birthday, and that's awesome. That's so good. It must be nice to have a husband.
I was reading the comments, and people are not shady, but they were like, "I'm glad that a celebrity is not coming out with a hair product, a food line, and or some body moisture, or rum." Some type of tequila.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. Alicia Tease is really kind of a fun name.
Yeah.
I'm happy about it.
So when he gifted it to her, he said, everybody in Starbucks all around the world is going to see Alicia Tues. Happy birthday, baby. I love you. And da-da-da. And great. That's so nice she's got a husband. And he gave you a whole tea line. Yeah, that's great.
That must be nice.
Alicia Tues. So freaking cute. Finesse 2 times has revealed that both of his girlfriends are pregnant at the same time. And
Did we figure out who the Finesse 2 times was?
No. After kicking one woman out of the relationship, Finesse wasted no time in reproducing with his remaining 2 lovers. So apparently there was a quadruple, and now there's only a thruple. There's only a thruple.
Mm-hmm.
Upon coming home from prison in 2022, Finesse 2 times' mission was to make his mark on the music industry, and he certainly do that, to say the least. The rapper made a triumphant return with his 90 Days mixtape in December, and has continued to impress with a string of singles and collaborative efforts arriving throughout 2023. I have no idea who he is.
Not a clue.
While his songs have made some big moments on platforms like TikTok, Finesse's personal life continues to land him in hot water with the public. The How to Act hitmaker, no, never heard of it, recently faced backlash for bringing his young son on stage with him to perform a song with bars about disregarding consent during intimacy. Awesome.
Oh, that is great.
It's clear that not everyone...
What was that song?
It's a song called... I don't know what it's called, but it's about disregarding consent during intimacy. His parenting, it's clear that not everyone is a fan of his parenting methods, but on Monday he confirmed that his second girlfriend, known as Sugar, is pregnant after taking multiple at-home tests. The big news comes just weeks after 31-year-old confirmed that one of the other women in his life has been removed from their open relationship, and at the same time, his other lover was proudly showing off her baby bump for camera. And that is just awesome. That's awesome. Everybody's just so creative.
Everybody's so creative.
Everybody's just so creative.
Hey, can't do nothing with no skinny hoe. Can't do nothing with no skinny hoe. Big dick player. Yes. I didn't say D, I said dick.
Oh. What was the line that I heard yesterday? Something about over 200 to something. I don't know. It's a nice line. It fit me.
It's a nice line that fit me.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. And then this very last story, and which is the biggest story of the day. Britney Spears sparks concern among fans as she performs a dangerous dance with knives. And I was awoken to this foolishness sent to me by my sister this morning. Britney Spears.
Yes!
Dancing with knives. Dances wildly. Holding a pair of kitchen knives. Britney has stated, though, that these knives are fake knives. She said that they are not real live knives. And this is Britney doing her knife dance. She rocks the party. Who rocks the party?
I'm going to start it over for you guys because I know you want to see the knives being Look at him. Look. Yes. Get it. Go, Britney.
Go,
get
Brit.
it.
Go, Brit.
Oh.
Go, Brit.
Get it.
Go, Brit.
Punch it.
Go, Brit.
Spin it. Twirl it. Put a foot out.
I'm going to give you guys a piece of advice out there in our radio land. If you want your daughter to be okay, don't name it Britney. Mm-hmm. And that's. I will leave you with that gem.
We will leave you with this gem. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I won't let it go off the screen. I'm just going to keep on letting you guys watch it.
Even said Plies need to go in and save her already, because you know Plies love Britney Spears. And look at her there. Go, Brit.
Schneider said I would pay $45 if she brings her knife dance on tour.
$45.
LaWanda, where you going? The video is not done. You're going to sit here and watch Britney Spears twirl. God damn it. Don't you leave here. Get it.
Is this her music?
It's not her music, but I like this music better for Britney.
Who pay cash? All right. Y'all have a good day now.
Y'all have a wonderful day from us and Britney Spears.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Go,
Get
Britney.
Go, Britney. Twirl, and spin, and spin. The dogs had me crazy because the dogs was like, what the fuck? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode and to another showing of Saucy and Friends in the Morning. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye. I rock the party that rocks the party.
only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM.
Miami Breward Junior Carnival 2023 Family Fun Day, presented by TD Bank on September 30th. Gates open at 1 p.m. at